With several mini camps around the league wrapping up this week, the headlines seem to focus on players that were not on the field as opposed to the ones who were taking part in camp. Nolan, it's a tradition we go through every summer, contract holdouts, players who are not happy with their current deals and want new ones. We have 3 players we're going to talk about today who have different contract situations, but all have that one goal, a long-term deal. Maurice Jones-Drew missed all of minicamp for the Jaguars, but he still has 2 years left in his contract, so he's subject to fines up to $60,000. Wes Welker, he signed his franchise tender, so he was at camp, but he also wants a long-term deal. The Bears, they were without Matt Forte, who has not signed his franchise tender. He's looking for that long-term contract. Nolan, you think, though, that Welker and Jones-Drew are less deserving of Forte of that coveted long-term contract?
They've both clearly begun to show signs of wearing down. You look at the tape on Maurice Jones-Drew, I think you see that he's begun to lose some of the burst that made him stand out early in his career. That were 20-yard gains are now 8-yard gains. He's just not as explosive or as dangerous in space as he used to be. Wes Welker, it's a similar story. The last 2 years, I think he's shown signs of declining. He's staggering in his routes. He's taking more hits. You look at David Patton, David Givens, Randy Moss. Since they left that system, what have they done? They were components of it. Bill Belichick knew how to use it, their talents to their maximum strength. And I think Wes Welker is the same way. He's making $9.5 million this year. If he's going to any other team, he's worth $6 million.
And the 2 players we've talked about, Wes Welker and Maurice Jones-Drew, are certainly different in terms of how replaceable they are. You look at Welker and what the Patriots have done with Julian Edelman, and they bring in Jabbar Gaffney, Brandon Lloyd, so a lot of options there, including Aaron Hernandez. Maurice Jones-Drew, he was that entire Jaguars offense, so you'd think he'd have a little more leverage, but he still does have those 2 years left on his deal. And that brings us to Matt Forte. Talk about a player who means a lot to his team, and that Bears offense is all about Matt Forte last year, but they're still standing their ground, not giving him the long-term deal. Why does he deserve it, though?
He's very smart. He's a 3-down back. He's excellent in pass protection, and he has excellent eyes, vision, and run strength. I think those are all unique traits. To me, he's been a top 5 back since he entered the league. He has had some questions with durability, has had some knee injuries, but he's a top 5 back when he's healthy, and I think the Bears are going to sorely miss him if he's not there. They got to find a way to extend him 3 years.
Considering all those situations and some of the things that you've heard, how do you see those 3 playing out, and who's going to get that new deal?
Gene Smith came out publicly and said he's standing his ground. The Jaguars aren't going to move. I don't think they're going to budge. They're going to make Maurice Jones-Drew play out his contract. Robert Kraft, on the other hand, has come out saying he'd like to see Wes Welker retire as a Patriot and play a long time there. I think he's going to have to realize that his value is much greater in New England than elsewhere and come to terms, maybe lessen his demands. It might be the same story with Matt Forte, but if he does wind up hitting the market, I think he has the most value of any of these players. He's the most deserving of a contract, and the Bears need to find a way to get it done.
And those are not the only players still looking for those long-term deals. The most notable one, Drew Brees, still trying to get a long-term deal done with the New Orleans Saints. You also have Cliff Averill with the Lions, Dwayne Bowe with the Chiefs. There's certain players out there still looking to cash in before this training camp gets underway. To find out news about all those players and everything else NFL, head to our website, ProFootballWeekly.com.